All right, so continuing with our quadratic formula. Um, so remember, negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So last time, when we did these like full like solving part, we either got no solution because there was a negative number under the square root, or we got like whole number or fraction solutions. Like when we did the square root part, it was 25, so the square root of 25 is 5, or the square root of 36 is 6, or something like that. So today, excuse me, we're going to look at some of the problems um, that won't have a square root. Hopefully, because I'm just about ready to make up some problems. So let's see, negative 2x squared plus 5x plus 1 equals 0. So remember, we need to have equals 0 in the problem, okay? So we're going to have a, b, and c. A is always next to x squared, b is next to x, c is the number by itself. So when we plug it in, negative, and then the b is 5, plus or minus 5 squared minus 4 times a is negative 2, and c is 1. And then we have 2 over negative 2. All right, and then most of the work is under the square root. So 5 squared is 25. Okay, and then negative 4, negative 2. So negative negative is a positive. That's an important piece. Don't just put minus. Negative negative positive 8, and 8 times 1 is still 8. And we get negative 4. 2 times negative 2. So negative 5 plus or minus 25 plus 8 is 33. Okay, and so yesterday, at this point, we could do the square root of 33. Like that was like a number that had a square root. So obviously we can't do the square root of 33. This would have been like 16 or 9 or something. Okay, so I need to figure out what's the square root of 33. And we get 5.74. All right, so once we get the decimal, then I want to come back up here to the top. We need to do negative 5 plus 5.74 over negative 4, and then we need to do negative 5 minus 5.74 over negative 4. So use a calculator, no problem. So we get, negative 5 plus 5.74 equals 0.74, and then divided by negative 4, and we get negative 0.185. So just barely negative. It's like practically 0. All right, then negative 5 minus 5.74 divided by negative 4, and we get 2.685. Okay, so remember, like what we're, let's put this in context. Those are our two answers. Like, what the heck did we just find? Okay, well, remember, it's the points where they cross the x-axis of the graph. So that kind of reviewing a little bit of graphing stuff, but remember the a number is negative. So that means that, the graph number 1 is going to cross negative point, like 0.2, let's say. It's like literally like super like close to 0. And then 2.68 would be like 1, 2, 3, like a little bit more than 2.5. Okay, and because the a is negative, that means the graph is upside down, so it could look something, like that. But we found these 2 points, the x-intercepts, okay, the solutions, the zeros. There's all kinds of different words we used for them. Okay, you don't have to graph it, but why are we doing this? Because if I just graphed it and said, what are the solutions? There's no way you're going to come up with negative 0.185 or 2.685. Like, there's no way to do that. Okay, so quadratic formula helps with that. All right, so your first handful of problems will be like that, but some of them will be a little bit different in terms of the setup. So you might have something like like that. And we can't do the quadratic formula until we have equals 0. So I would need to subtract 2. And you're typically, I'm not going to say never, but most of the time when you subtract something over or add something over, you're not really going to combine it with anything. It's just I need to get it all over here so that I can say like a is 3, b is 7, and c is negative 2. Okay, so negative the b number, negative 7 plus or minus 7 squared minus 4 times 2, the c times, excuse me, I went in the wrong order. Minus 4a is 3, and c is negative 2, all over 2, and then the a is 3. Okay, so again, under the square root is our work, really. This one we got to be careful of, because I have negative 4, and then the 2 is negative also, but that's on the end. So the mistake that I see most often is just we write minus, and then we kind of keep going. But it's like negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 12 times 2 is positive 24. So if there's two negative signs, this is always going to be here in the middle. But if one of those other numbers is negative, we'll have two negatives to make it a positive. So just be careful of that. So negative 7 plus or minus, that's going to be 73 over 6. Okay, so again, I need to figure out what's the square root of 73. 8.54. Okay, so negative 7 plus 8.54 over 6, and negative 7 minus 8.54 over 6. So calculator, negative 7 plus 8.54 is 1.54 divided by 6. Again, it's really small. 0.25. It keeps going. I'll just leave it at 0.25. Negative 7 minus 8.54 is negative 15 divided by 6, negative 2.59. Okay, so those are where it crosses the x-axis. So again, keep in mind that if you're doing your work, and let's say you get an answer that was 3 plus or minus square root of negative 10 over 2. Okay, well this negative square root, I can't do that. And so the answer is no real solutions. Okay, and let's say you're on a different problem. You're doing your work and you get, negative 4 plus or minus square root of 0 over 4. Okay, this 0 is not positive. Square root of 0 is 0. Okay, so what you're left with on this particular problem, what's negative 4 plus 0? It's negative 4. Just left with negative 4 over 4. And you'll just have one answer, because negative 4 plus 0 is the same as negative 4 minus 0. It's not positive or negative. Okay? That'll happen. You're going to get a no solution. You're going to get one problem. It looks like just one of them, that you get one answer. And then the rest of them will have two answers. Okay? But that kind of leads us into the section of problems that we're going to look at. So the directions say find the number of real solutions. So it doesn't want us to say what the specific solution is. It just wants us to know, are there two solutions? Is there one solution? Or are there no real solutions? Okay, that's all it wants us to. It doesn't want to know that the answer is negative 5 and 2, or whatever the answers actually are. Okay, so when we do this, we use it's called the discriminant, and that is the b squared minus 4ac part of the quadratic formula, just under the square root. Okay, so whatever the problem is, I'm going to plug it into that formula, just the b squared minus 4ac. So let's see if I get x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. Okay, and I'm just b squared minus 4ac. So b squared negative 6 squared minus 4. Okay, remember the a, b, and c. So the a is 1, and the c is 9. So negative 6 squared is positive 36. That number will always be positive. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 9 is negative 36. And I get 0. Okay, so when I get 0, that means one solution. Okay. So you're just going to do the problems. They're all set up for you. None of them are set up. Oh, let me back up. I take that back. Some of them are set up differently. So look at it. They're all the number. Okay. So if I had like that, I do need to add the 3 over. Plus 3 equals 0. So I need the equal 0. So now I can say, well, the A is -2, the B is -8, and the C is +3. So when I plug it in, B squared minus 4AC. Okay, so B squared, -8 squared minus 4, A is -2, C is 3. So -8 squared is 64. Negative and negative is +8, 4 times 2. +8 times 3 is +24. And I get 88. Okay, 2 solutions. Okay, positive number, 2 solutions. Okay. All right, so here's kind of so when it says how many solutions, okay, positive numbers, any positive number. Positive numbers mean 2 solutions. The number 0 means 1 solution. And a negative number means no real solutions. Okay, so you're just doing B squared minus 4AC. Any positive number means 2 solutions, 0 means 1 solution, and negative numbers, no matter what the number is, means no real solutions. Okay, so the last group of problems you're going to have, there's 6 of them. The answer is either 2 solutions, 1 solution, or no real solutions. Okay? So you don't have to solve the whole thing. So you'll have some where you solve the whole thing, and then some where you just do the B squared minus 4AC part. All right. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you next time.